this year, March 4th, was your birthday.
Yeah. I since you got fired on my birthday.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Golf and Gospel, Top Golf Edition. We have newly acquired Houston Texans, Foley Fatukasi. My dog, man. It's little bro since UConn, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to jump right into it, though, man. Obviously, you come from a Nigerian descent. Were you born there?
No, I was actually born in the U.S.
Born in New York. Okay, so born in New York. But how would you say that NFL Africa is doing a good job in terms of showcasing the sport back in like your home country?
Man, NFL Africa, because that's headed by OC.
Oh yeah, right.
That's headed by OC, man. I think he's doing a great job with just highlighting just the African talent that's in the U.S. and giving hope across the internationally, essentially, right? And OC's just doing a great job because there's a lot of talented guys, you know, in the league, and you know they come from African heritage, So I think it's great. I think it's been a great way for guys to really show their heritage through the game. It's a great way for people that who are from the same heritage to be able to relate.
You think there will be any games in Africa in the future? Is it even possible? Like, is there a huge stadium somewhere in Africa?
So, funny you bring that up. They're actually building one.
Okay.
Right? They're building one. Will there be any games in Africa? I don't know. One would hope so.
Yeah, people they got all these games in London and is there in Germany? Germany. So obviously the NFL is expanding too, but obviously with what OC's doing with NFL Africa, I wonder if there's something down the road like we can hopefully look forward to, which would be awesome.
I think that would be dope. I won't be surprised if it happens, but obviously it's going to take a lot of hands to get that done.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, obviously we both went to UConn.
Right.
I got in 2010. You got in
13.
13, right. I want you to talk about, first off, go Huskies. I want you to talk about your top 3 moments at UConn. And I'll talk about mine too.
Top 3 moments at UConn. Definitely would say one would be when we beat U of H the year that they were undefeated.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah. I remember watching that. That was amazing.
But that joint was crazy. Like it was a big win for us. Obviously.
For sure. Yeah.
We all played well. Second would be just some of the interactions that we would have in the locker room. Right. Especially like after camp, once camp is over.
Yeah.
The guys are dancing.
Yeah.
It's like camp is done.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say when we played Tulsa.
Okay.
That was my first game where I had 2 sacks in one game.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And that was a big moment for me because I feel like I was just in this state of flow.
Yeah.
1 sack came.
Yeah.
Cole Ormsby then had a sack.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Cole.
So then I got another sack.
Yeah.
And then Cole Ormsby went and had another sack.
Yeah.
So that was like a really big that was a fun moment.
Yeah.
What I mean?
That's
and then
awesome.
We won the game on the last
Was
drive.
it missed field goal, right?
No, last drive. It was last drive.
I'm thinking Virginia.
Virginia. But it was like a last drive.
Yeah.
Junior Joseph is on the island essentially.
Yeah.
We're all running after the quarterback. He throws it up. He turned back, and Junebug, gets the ball deflected. So
That's awesome.
That was dope, man.
Yeah, man. I'll say for me, man, getting there my freshman year, 2010, and seeing Taggart, the kicker, make the 51-yard field goal against USF to send us to the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
And I remember being there like, dog, like, granted, I still say this to this day, but I'm so happy I picked this school. Because that year 2010, everybody's winning the Big East. Women's basketball, men's basketball, football, I think baseball won, soccer, field hockey. I'm just like, bro, like, we are not to be slept on as a whole, like a sports program.
Even when we came in as like pups, we came in as freshmen, and we were hearing stories about that year from you guys.
Yeah, it was so crazy. And obviously, we going to play Oklahoma, DeMarco Murray, and Landry Jones. Oklahoma was a tough team. I remember playing against, I didn't play out redshirt, but I remember just watching that game. It's like, all right, Oklahoma scores. Oklahoma scored again. I was like, oh, shoot. And then we got a pick six, like, all right, 7-14. Yeah. And they started to pull away a little bit. And I think the score ended up being like, I might be staying corrected. People can fact check. I think like 48-21. So it didn't look as bad as what it was, kind of. But that like really put us on the map. But then unfortunately, Esso left and went to Maryland, and a lot of other stuff happened from there. That'll be one of my favorite moments there. My second one would be obviously getting 1,000 yards, man. Like being the first wide receiver since UConn become an FBS program to do that. And one thing that's always on my mind, bro, is I always think like my redshirt sophomore year, if I could have had 1,000 yards too, because I was splitting time.
Yeah.
So obviously a transfer comes in, and it's a new coach, so I'm not his recruit.
No.
And that transfer comes in, that's his recruit. They wanted that guy to start. And I end up winning the starting spot. But because I won, it's like, all right, we got to let Jeremy go 2 drives and this guy go 2 drives, so on and so on. So doing the whole season like that and getting 613 yards, only imagine if I started the whole year. Maybe.
Yeah.
All I need is 387.
Yeah.
Get 1,000 that year. Then next year I get TJ Weeks, get another 1,000. Bro, it's one thing I'm happy about. I was getting 1,000 yards, but it's also like, man, what if I was still on that? And obviously the third thing I just spoke about him is me and Coach Weeks, man. Like, that's still my dog to this day. He's doing a good job in Baltimore.
Coach Weeks.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Weeks.
Coach Weeks, man. And the thing that sucked too, I remember going into our senior year, me and Byron asked War Emanuel in terms of when he was looking for a coaching hire. I said, we would love to keep Coach Weeks because we're doing a 3-game win streak at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Or Byron was like, interview Don Brown, please.
Don Brown had.
Don Brown's a dog.
Yeah. Be a dude, Don Brown.
Yes, bro. And I just like how he challenged me on offense as a defensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? But I remember War Emanuel saying like, okay, I'll take those suggestions. Those are some good ideas, but you never know when I'll pick a guy. It might be a few weeks from now, it might be a month from now. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Then like 3 days later, he hires a new coach or whatever, and then he leaves to go to Michigan, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you could at least gave us what we asked.
Yeah.
If you're gonna slide on us like that, man. And unfortunately for me and Byron, our seniors didn't go the way we wanted, but thank God we still, back to the league and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't change anything per se about that experience. I know what I wanted, but I wouldn't change anything. Obviously, it made me who I am and who you are. This day and stuff like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, UConn definitely wasn't for the faint at heart, though.
We probably have a lot more stories.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about this, too. People don't probably talk about it a lot, but there are some dogs from the defensive tackle spot that come from UConn. I mean, you got Shamar.
Kendall Reyes
went the 2nd round.
Yeah, Travado.
Gilmore. Yep. You, and then obviously little homie just got drafted by Baltimore.
Travis Jones.
Yes, man.
Bro, he's a house, bro.
Yes, and that's just defensive line.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk about the corners with Darius Butler, Bleedy Wilson, the wing backs, Byron Jones, Andrew Adams. I'm solely talking D-line right now. So I want you to talk about the mentality that UConn has showcased as a defense, just solely as a defensive line.
Man, I could definitely talk a lot about the defensive line, especially like with guys like, because when I came in, Shamar Stephan, he was the big dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know this, right? Shamar Stephan, Jesse Joseph.
DN, yep.
Can't forget Jesse, you know what I'm saying? Big on, right? But the mentality behind the D-line was just like, don't take no for an answer. You know what I mean? Coming into each game, coming into each practice. And they were like the first guys, like, from a collegiate professional level, that showed me like, yo, this is how you get your work done.
Yeah.
They never took any reps off. They went hard every rep.
Yeah.
Even in days where like wearing pads, and it's like, yo, we just got done with the game.
Right.
Wearing pads.
Right.
They didn't back down.
Yeah.
Right. So each rep was 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're a young guy coming up in that, you only kind of know one way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and obviously we were younger then, but their mentality was that they're not going to be pushed around or moved by anybody.
Right.
And if you felt like you could, they were going to rise up to the occasion, and essentially just whatever the smoke is, they're in for it.
Yeah.
And so those guys are definitely I would definitely say molded me into the mindset that I have.
Yeah.
With how I handle my work.
Yeah.
D-line, it's like that with the whole D-line. You know what I'm saying? Like when I hear stories about Seal Moore, when I hear stories about Travado, when I hear stories about work, I'm just like, yo, those guys have the mentality. Yeah. And then when you look at like us younger guys that came after, Julian Kimpenny, Mike Myers,
Big Mike.
You look at myself and so on. Cole Ormsby.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are guys that like when we came up in that, we were taught like, yo, don't take no for an answer. Yeah. You don't take no nonsense as a D-lineman. Yeah. You know what I mean? And off the field, it's all love.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. And honestly, just even talking about your impact too, what you left at UConn as well. So I personally think I would have to ask him. I think Travis Jones probably took a lot from you as well, bro. Because I mean, like, watching you, bro, and just hearing how commentators talked about you as I'm watching, I'm just like, man, he is setting a precedent for what it means to be just a dominant defensive lineman, but a dominant defensive lineman at the University of Connecticut. And it's good to have seen Travis go in the second, third round.
He definitely went like first three.
Yeah, man, but
he went to Baltimore.
That's a credit to like you not ending what guys like Shamar and everybody before Shamar started with defensive line, man. Hopefully UConn has some more defensive linemen to obviously continue that.
They actually got 2 coming up.
Yeah.
They were in the combine.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a defensive end.
It was a DN.
Gabe's a guard though, right?
He's a guard.
Yeah.
So but still one who puts his hand in it.
Yeah.
So but I definitely would agree, man. Like Trav is like, you know, we trained together too as well.
That's good.
You know, he's a house, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a house, and I got the chance to watch film on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, still such raw talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and yo, just the ability that he has, to, you know, just get off the ball and put his hands on guys and be able to knock guys out because it's so big, so strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Trav is definitely one that like, yo, he definitely helped his own.
So, and speaking about all these players we talk about from UConn transition to the NFL now, man. Another thing we have in common, I was drafting the 6th round, pick 186. You were drafting the 6th round, pick 180, though. So you got me about 6 picks, man. I want you to talk about your rookie year. I want you to talk about how it felt, one, to get the phone call and see your name come on the team, on the screen, and secondly, your rookie year, didn't play a lot, inactive majority of the year. And I want to talk about how that challenged you both physically and spiritually, because at UConn, you were the guy. You were a dog. And to come in and obviously have the aspirations to play, and then suddenly like, I'm inactive. Okay, maybe next week. I'm inactive. Okay, maybe next week. Like, talk about those challenges, bro.
Yo, it's funny how you making me walk down this lane and just think about it. Man, so coming in my rookie year, man, obviously I had the goal that I was gonna play.
For sure.
Right? Being able to being drafted is a special feeling.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what round you get, it's like, man, my name got called on TV.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's something that you want to hold on to. You know? Being drafted, later, it's like, all right, you got a bit of a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, same. Yep.
You know, but I would definitely say that, man, like, my family being there, it's like, yeah, you're happy, you got drafted, but then in the back of your mind, it's like, hold on, man, like, I'm worth more than that, you know what I'm saying? And I want to show that.
Right.
So coming in that rookie year, man, and not being able to play, right, it did 2 things for me. It actually did more than 2 things.
Yeah.
It taught me persistence.
Yeah.
It taught me discipline. It taught me resilience, right? And it taught me overall just to stay after it.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I had a mentor.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that next. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, I had a mentor, Steve McGlendon.
Yep.
Right? He was an undrafted guy, played 7 years for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Then came to New York, and then as he came into New York,
Tampa too. After that, where you go after?
He went to Tampa. After.
Tampa,
He went to Tampa, won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right, which there's a whole backstory.
Yeah.
Crazy, you know what I'm saying? But man, he came in when I came in. He was the first person to introduce himself to me. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? My name's Steve McGlendon.
What's up?
Big dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there. I'm a rookie. I'm not about to try me. You know what I'm saying? But he came with such humility, right? And with such open arms that it just allowed me to just want to really watch what he does, right? And he took me under his wing, right, so to speak. And not so to speak, he took me under his wing. You know what I'm saying? And he just taught me the craft. He taught me how to stay after it, right? And he was a big just motivator, right, and encourager for me. You know what I mean? So each week when I'd be taking reps, it's like, all right, yo, your shot might come, so don't pull off. Your shot might come, so don't pull off. So I remember the first day I actually was active, right? I was at the team hotel. I didn't eat crazy the night before because I was like, yo, I could get called at any moment. So I took each week as if I was gonna play.
Yes, for sure.
Right? I get up, he calls me. He's like, yo, you're up. I said, up where, man? I'm at the hotel. He said, no, man. You're playing. Your jersey's up in your locker.
That's what's up.
Right? Because he was always one of the first to get to the stadium. So I was like, yo, come on. So my stomach starts turning. Right? I'm just like, it's a good way because it's like final. Right? But it's also just like, I gotta show it. You know what I mean? So being able to go in there and play that first game and him just being able to be a steward of just
For
like
sure.
a path for me.
Yeah.
I think one, it was God sent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
And two, it just really showed me how to handle myself. And like he gave me the blueprint for the rest of my career.
For
you know
sure.
So
that's really good.
now heading on into year 7,
yeah,
a lot of what he's taught, and not just him.
Yeah.
I would say he's number one. I got to give him all of that credit in that regard and what he's taught me.
That's good.
Right. But a lot of guys have taught me a lot of things, but it's what I still carry. It's what I still use. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
It's still the mentality that I carry, you know, what I mean, with what I do today, you know what I'm saying? So,
So how were you challenged spiritually though? Was there a sense of frustration with the Lord? Because it's like, I'm trying to see what I'm sowing reap.
Yeah.
And obviously you're in year 7, so obviously we're seeing you reap now. But at that time, we don't see it when we're inactive and putting in all this extra work. Now, I want you to answer that question, but I would say being inactive your rookie year is not bad. It's almost like a redshirt year. Almost. But I want to see, how were you challenged spiritually? Because you didn't know. You had the hope you were, but you didn't know you were going to be playing in year 7.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like I was challenged spiritually in the sense of like, yo, keep faith.
For sure.
Right. And I would say that there weren't really a moment where I was like, God, like, yo, why are you forsaking me?
For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? It was more just like, God, like, you know, when is my opportunity gonna come?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And being thankful enough to have guys like Steve McGlendon,
Yeah.
you know, guys like Kelvin Beachum, guys like
Kelvin's on the show too.
Yo, he is. I mean, guys like Kelvin Beachum, you know, guys like Brandon Copeland.
Yeah.
You know, Yo, I have a lot of names. Steve being number one. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
No.
Tossing it right here. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yo, don't let my trainer see this.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, seeing guys like Brian Winters, right? But to answer your question in terms of spiritually, man, like I had guys that were able to feed me spiritually still.
Yeah.
You know, mentors,
Yeah.
you know, big brothers, you know what I'm saying? Guys are able to say, hey, you never know when opportunity is gonna come. Keep faith.
Yeah.
You never know what God is sharpening you to do.
Yeah.
Stay at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a moment. The moment is here for this moment right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Steve was so special in the way that like he would go into the weight room and he'll take that same level of spirituality in the weight room.
That's good.
Right? So he'll have, let's say, 6 plates on each side, right? He'll count up each 6 plates. It's like, Foley, this is 12 problems that God has given me to handle.
Right.
Right? And he'll just use that analogy that like God has given me the strength to
Thank you.
Thank you. He'll use that analogy that like God has given you the strength to lift this weight.
Yeah.
And he'll lift it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll lift that joint, so if the weight goes down, it gotta come back up.
Yeah.
So and it was that level of like that constant, you know, just I guess like encouragement.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That allowed me to grow in spirit
1000%.
as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would always be in prayer with me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He would always make one morning I have a lot of stories about this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One morning he called me. Like it was a Saturday morning. He said he called me. He's like, hey Foley, hey, what you doing? I said, I jumped out of my bed because I was in bed.
Yeah.
Right? He said, what you doing? He's like, I heard a message about you. It's like, man, it's there for you. The dream is there, man. Get up out of bed. Go get this work, Foley. So I'm in bed. I jump up.
Yeah.
I go to the weight room.
Yeah.
And I mean, I give me about an hour 30 of workout, man. Yeah. I'm just like, man, he was a person that I believe that God used to steward me in the right direction.
Good, man.
You know what I mean? I lucked out. You know what I'm saying? I was really blessed.
I think you really did, because I say this humbly, bro. I didn't have anybody like that. Like, I remember my boy Anthony Doble. He was in that pathway program too.
Yeah.
I remember when he said he was in Atlanta, he was like, bro, Julio is just telling me so much. And I'm jealous. Julio's my favorite receiver growing up. Him and Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, DT.
Yeah. But I was just like, bro, I didn't really have that. Like, when I was with the Giants, bro, it was a very stacked room, but I felt like an outlier. You know? And like I said, I was there in 2015, a little bit of 2016, but I just feel like I didn't really vibe with that room because of how I was trying to walk out my faith. I didn't want to do those specific things. So when I hear about people saying, this guy took me under the wing and did that, I just really wish I had that, because I knew how to play the receiver position. Obviously, statistically, that does not show in the NFL. But I think if I would have had like someone in my wing take me on his wing, I would have probably feel a little bit more than what I did. Now, obviously, God being sorry, he let that work the way it did. But that's one thing I really wish I had. Obviously, it got different. I got to the charge. I still never got to come to nobody's wing, but I gained a brother and Tyrell Williams, bro. So when you talk about having that constant encouragement, bro, like Tyrell was for sure that for me. So I definitely understand that from where you're coming from. But the transition from your rookie year, bro, the next year you go on to play a lot. I mean, I'm seeing you all over PFF, run stop. I'm like, that's my dog. That's my dog.
Crazy, man.
And then you eventually become a captain too.
Yeah.
And the Jets too, man. So tell me about that transition, essentially, from being a guy who was inactive and he got to play 3 plays, jump outside, now playing a lot of snaps, and now I'm a captain and making plays. Like, it's just crazy seeing your name next to, obviously, guys who be in the Hall of Fame, Aaron Donald, when it comes to run stop.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, you taking me through my own.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. Yeah. But one, I think it's just a testament of like, man, it's a testament of just like, one, the people that have poured into me.
For sure.
Right? A lot of people have poured into me. Like, I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the guy that has a lot of supporters. You know, like the quote that I come as one, but I stand as 10,000.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's
you know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of people that supported me throughout my life. So being able to come out and in that time and just be able to perform, right, at a high level, it made me feel like all this work was put in for these moments.
Yeah.
You know, these moments where you can play at a high level.
Yeah.
And being voted as a captain that 1 year.
That's huge.
That's a huge deal.
Especially in the league. Yes.
Especially in the league. You know, like, that means that, like, yo, your teammates looked at you and it's like, yo, like, we want you to help steward this thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We want to follow in your lead.
Yo, and that was a blessing, man, to be able to, like, look at my teammates and know that, like, they entrusted me to be, you know, to be in that position. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want to take that thing lightly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So being in that position, man, I understood that, like, all right, well, obviously I'm not going to not be my authentic self. Yes. Yeah. I understood the responsibility in which I was in. Yeah. And, yo, it just allowed me to just continue to be me, you know, continue to play hard and continue to play well, right? So, man, it's fun looking back, you know? It's fun looking back. Obviously, there's more in the future, but it's fun looking back to see, like, man, to see where the foundation is starting.
Yeah. I would say this, too, man. Because, like, it is crazy the fact you went from an active guy to a captain. I want you to talk. This is one. No, you go back. The one thing that's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's frustrating, is sometimes teams now just pick captains whoever the star player is. But I'm obviously a little biased, but I know you walk out everything you say in terms of working hard, staying extra, dominating, bro. So I thought, like, when the Jets picked you as a captain, I was like, man, this is what a true captain is, because it's not just like, oh, I'm the quarterback, so you just have to give me the tag, but I'm actually walking this thing out. But also to encourage people, man, even looking at Foley's story, it's the fact that, like, again, he was inactive, and then now in year 7, so do not be discouraged if you're playing the waiting game, man. Something can definitely take off for you. So you finish off your time with the Jets. Let's go back a little bit more, too. Your time with the Jets, in terms of the stability with coaching, was a little rough. I want you to talk about how that challenged you both physically. Well, physically you were fine, but spiritually, because there had to be a sense of frustration when it seems like there's a little bit of disorganization, per se. There's no shame.
It was rough in the sense.
Hey, man, eat a couple fries or something, too, man. I know the food's staring at you. Grab a fry.
Nah, it is.
Grab a fry, man. Yeah, go grab a fry. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Enjoy yourself, man. Relax.
You have another problem?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Won't get cold. My wife hates when food get cold.
Yeah.
She get mad at me. I be good.
No.
I be like, I'm straight. I'm gonna still eat it. She be hot, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't see you eat, so I ain't.
I was going back and forth.
Yeah, like a couple tater tots.
About 4, 5. It's on camera.
Oh, wow. I'm just thinking kind of dry.
Huh? Kind of dry?
A little bit.
You gonna edit that part out?
Huh?
Like, don't come back because you're talking about they chicken sandwiches are dry. They ain't get no sauce?
All right. Got mayo.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. That's why I want to start eating.
You're fine.
Huh?
I don't want you to starve.
There was something in regards to, like, man, I wanted more consistency. Because I felt like just as I was getting comfortable with one coach, one system, it changed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's been a theme since college, yo. Like,
Yeah, we definitely experienced that. I know for me, I went through 4 different coaches finally.
Yeah,
Yep.
about the same here.
Yeah.
I had Coach Paul Pasqualoni, Coach Diaco.
You went back to Edsel.
And then I had Coach Edsel. So I had three.
I had Edsel, Paul Pasqualoni, TJ Weiss, Bobby Ike.
Yeah,
and it was a little interim between Edsel and Pasqualoni too. They weren't during the season, so I don't really count. There would be 5.
Yeah.
I had 4.
Yeah, man. So it was like when I started to see the same trend with New York, it was like, don't get me wrong, my time there was great in terms of like just the relationships that I developed and just like the grit that those guys had to go into each game and to work to win each game.
Yeah.
But man, there was a part of me I was like, yo, like, Lee, I want some stability, you know, just as you were starting to get used to a defense.
Yes.
You were starting to really understand, like, you know what I mean, like what your role is.
Yeah.
You were starting to find those little nuances that allowed you to cheat plays.
Yeah.
It was like, dang, now you had to learn a new way to do certain things,
yeah.
right? So it was frustrating, especially in the sense of like I get some stability.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like you learn how to adapt.
Yeah.
Right? You learn how to adapt, you learn how to adapt fast.
Yeah.
Obviously, you should leave if you don't adapt.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Someone else is going to adapt for you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
jobless.
But you learn how to adapt. And in that, like, I was able to learn different ways of certain defenses, right? Certain techniques, right? Different coaching styles. And that helped me become just broaden my horizons as a player. You know what I'm saying? Because I started to understand multiple ways of playing.
Yeah. All right, bro. So the first thing we're going to do is going to work on our finesse game, our short game. So the goal is you want to get this ball into that red hoop right there.
All right.
We're going to do best out of 3. Start us off. All right. Let you go first.
Oh, you start? You want me to start?
Yeah. We'll count it.
I don't count?
We'll count it.
It's not supposed to count?
No, it counts. However it gets there, it gets there.
All right, screw it. I'll take it.
All right.
Oh, I got to go again, huh?
You want to alternate or you want to go back and forth?
Nah, I'm going to go first.
Right, cool.
Knock on my joints out. That count?
Yeah, that count.
All right.
Hey, no matter how you get there, as long as you get there.
You about to get on and whack that joint. Pause.
At least your grip, big pause. At least your grip is straight.
My grip?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to my dog, Greg Sinat.
Shout out to Greg, dog. Okay, I'll give you one more.
All right.
Yeah. Oh.
That counts.
All right. All I gotta do is make 2 of them, hopefully. You never know what happens here.
It's in there.
Boom, 1. Try to put a little bit more height on this one. Oh, wow. Didn't go in.
So you gotta make one more.
Hey, I gotta make one. I gotta have some ice in my veins here. Wow. It's a tie. It's a tie. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. I think the other thing that's a credit to is your football IQ too. Being able to pick up these new defenses, these new positions and stuff like that is really good. And I think that also might have helped you get that big deal going into Jacksonville, man. So I want you to talk about like just that feeling of obviously signing a deal, being that guy that came on ESPN and people being excited because unfortunately I never got to experience that, which that's okay, but I'm happy for my boy. So tell me how that feels to actually, sign that contract.
That felt great, man.
Yeah.
One, it was definitely like God, like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like it was like, God, that was a big blessing. You know what I mean? And being able to, at least get to that point, which is like, in the league, everybody wants to get to that point.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Get to my second contract. Get my second
contract. Win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
God willing, go to a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
so on and so
Pro
forth.
Bowl a little weird nowadays. It's flag football. Y'all don't get through nothing but like push something around.
Hey, I can lie. Seeing Jason Kelsey in the Pro Bowl this year, that joint was hilarious.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That joint was fun to watch.
It's way more. It's entertaining. But yeah, it's not ball anymore, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's not. But we understand, like,
yeah,
we can see why, like, that
sure.
has happened over time.
Yeah.
Right. But man, getting that contract was definitely like a huge blessing, right? And it was also just like, all right, Foley, like, you got the contract. All right, go play even better now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do even more now.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, God has a funny way of working because I got that contract. I was learning other things.
Yeah.
I had honestly nothing.
Yeah, and we talked about those. We didn't have to get into it, but yeah.
So
sure.
yeah, definitely learned other things, which I believe was still a part of His will. It hurt.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it definitely taught me what I needed to know.
Yeah, and people that are watching too, I hope that you guys hear His vulnerability saying it hurt, but it's part of the Lord's sovereignty, His plan for those things, part of His will.
Yeah.
And to learn how to be content in what the Lord's will is for our life. So in saying that, I want to talk about two moments that happened in Jacksonville. I believe it was 2000, maybe 22, January 14th. You're down by a lot at halftime to my former team that I played for, LA Chargers.
Yeah.
And historically with UConn, we're down. That's it.
Yeah.
And obviously at the end of that day, you guys came out victorious, advancing to the playoffs, play against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what happened in that locker room at halftime. What happened?
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I give a big, you know, hat tip off to the guys in the locker room, like the guys that are on the field.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're down by a lot.
Yeah.
To a little.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We go into the locker room, and guys kind of just got closer. He's like, listen, man, like, yo, this is a moment like where we don't want to go home. But at this point, it's like, yo, let's get our backs from out of the corner.
Yeah.
And let's make something happen.
Yeah.
Right. And in a weird way, like, guys played even more free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we came back out to the field, it was like,
yeah,
we were just going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like looking back at it, I'm still in all of that.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we really did that. You know what I mean?
It was crazy watching too, because obviously me and Tyrell, we played for the Chargers. Urge was with us too that day too. We were watching the game. We just like, oh, it's just crazy. But unfortunately, I love playing my time with the Chargers, but historically, we are known to blow some leads. So me and Tyrell's like, we ain't gonna believe it until the game's over. And bro, when we saw y'all come back, Trevor Lawrence came out like a new guy. He threw what, 4% first half?
Yeah, man.
And crazy enough, it's hard to get out of that and still have the confidence to throw a ball, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, something told me and Tyrell like, I think they're gonna come back, bro. And obviously, from me and her standpoint, we're rooting you on. We want to see you do well, man. So to see you guys pull that off, man, just miraculous at that point, bro.
I know that joint was like. Listen, I feel like when it comes to games, and God, it can get a little tricky because you have believers on both sides.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. That joint seemed like it was written for us to do it. Just like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we talk about a guy who's all knowing. I mean, he did write it. You know?
Yeah, man.
You know, I know my boy Tim talked about how the Lord has executive will and a prescriptive will. Essentially, a prescriptive will, I hope I'm not butchering this, prescriptive will is, if I pray hard enough for this, the Lord can say, you know what, I'll let it be. Executive will is like, I'm not changing for nothing. So for instance, we can't pray like, Lord, we don't want you to come back. Jesus comes back, bro.
Yeah.
So that's on as far as executive will. But it does get weird when it talks about like, if the other team pray harder or this and that. I mean, at that time, you know, football is football. The Lord is sovereign, He knows what's going to happen, but you got to go out there and perform, and obviously, whatever happens. You guys came out victorious.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about that too, man, we're going to, I guess, the next year. I hope for you guys, where they're going to win the league, they're going to win the AFC South, we're going to be a threat. For the most part of the year, it looked like that. And unfortunately, towards the end of the year, it just didn't really shape out that way. Talk about how good God is when you guys come back down 21, how good God still is. We don't win AFC South, we don't make the playoffs. Because we can.
Well,
and matter of fact, I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah.
But it's so easy for us to essentially be conditional with God. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, God, for this. I got $1 million. Yeah, God, you're good.
Yeah.
Then I just broke my ankle. Like, I try rocking. So easy to do that. So I'll alter my questions. Talk about your relationship with God when you came back down from 21 and when you guys didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, one, I would say that throughout the season before, man, here's my personal belief. Right? And we see this as you grow, you start to understand that, like, God is beyond all of the things that we see.
Yeah.
Right? God is beyond all of the things that we touch. Right.
Right.
Here. Right. So at the end of the day, he's still sovereign. He's
right.
the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
For sure.
So now, don't get me wrong, I was hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucked.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, God, throughout all of the blessings, I was able to come out healthy. Right. I was able to see my family. My boys were all right.
Yeah.
Right. And then, there's a lesson to learn from this. There was stuff that you can still take from those games to be able to create a better person.
For sure.
A better play out of yourself. So with all that being said, it's like, you still have a lot of things to give to God. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then some would say that it's just a game. Let's be real, like, it's a little bit more than just a game.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. But there's definitely still a lot of things that you can learn.
Yeah.
Right. And use. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lessons that God will use for you, so you can learn and better in yourself.
Yeah.
Right. I've talked to a lot of believers who play, like, strong believers, like Bible scholars. Right? Yeah. And one thing that they always talk about is, like, what is the lesson that God is teaching through this?
Yeah.
So we lose.
Yeah.
We don't make it.
Yeah.
All right. What's the lesson?
Yeah.
Because who knows? That same opportunity can come.
Yeah.
And come back again.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that opportunity?
Yeah.
Did you learn the lesson that was necessary?
Yeah.
So, and obviously, Scripture breaks that down in more ways than several. So,
sure.
You know what I mean? So for me, it was just understanding, like, all right, God is still sovereign.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Romans 9, guys. Yep.
Right. And at the end of the day, I still have to wake up. I want to wake up, have the grace to wake up.
Sure.
See my family.
Yeah. Amen.
I still want to be able to train.
Yeah.
I still want to be able to grow and become a better person. So.
Yeah. So every offseason, majority of offseason, you come out here to train, bro. And this year, March 4th, was your birthday.
Yeah.
Also, Jacksonville decided to cut you, man.
Yeah.
Now, you're a newly acquired Houston Texan, and I obviously believe in your skill set and time, what you're going to bring to that defense. But, man, like, how did you feel about that, man? Because I was hurt for you. Cause I remember I hit you up saying happy birthday, but I also want to call you because of the situation that happened. Because it's like, who am I to say this is not fair? But I'm like, dog, Foley does not deserve that at all. Because I know who you are, your person. I know your heart. I know your work ethic. So in my head, I'm like, man, y'all are losing something. But I want to know how you feel that they chose to cut you on your birthday.
Well, honestly, I would say I got to a point where, like, God, like, let your will be done.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So, to be honest, it was like, dang.
Yeah.
You know?
I just made a birthday post for me, bro. Yeah.
It was like, dang, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's just like, in God's appointed time, things happen beautifully. Right? So I'm just like, all right, this is supposed to happen now.
Yeah.
I don't like how it happened.
For sure.
But I was like, all right, God, what is it that you have for me next time? Where is it that you're opening my eyes to?
Yeah.
What is it that you want me to learn?
Yeah.
Right? And I can't even take credit for how I've come to that wisdom, because a lot of people have poured that into me, right? To be able to see that even in adverse moments, right? What is it that you're trying to see? What is it that God wants you to see?
Yes.
Right? So I'm like, all right. I said you got fired on my birthday.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I was like, all right, hold on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then later on, the opportunity to Houston came, and I was just like, okay.
Great pick, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for a lot of guys who may watch this, they may be golfers, they may be football players, I want you to talk about the free agent experience, because it's like dating. Like, let me fly you out, let me wine and dine you, and I want you to commit to me.
Yeah, man.
I know you had some trips to Buffalo, I had some trips to Houston. Just tell us about the experience and how that went. You had a trip to Arizona too, right?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Me and Josh, we just met up not too long ago. We talked about that experience of you being out there. But I want you to just talk about the free agent experience and what goes into that and whatnot.
Well, it was like, once I hit the waiver wire, I had a few teams that like reached out, right, and reached out fast. So,
oh yeah, you're in need, bro.
Dude, I was almost like, not to shorten myself, but I was almost shocked how fast it happened.
Yeah.
So when all of these reach outs were happening, I was in the middle of training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I was in the middle of training. My agent calls me, right? And he says, "Yo, such and such place wants to see you."
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm like, "All right, I'm training." He's like, "Well, you might have to wrap it up."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, "Yo, word?" He's like, "Yeah." So, lo and behold, yo, I get a itinerary. I got to go catch a flight within the hour.
Yeah.
So I got to cut training.
Happened that fast.
Happened that fast.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm not gonna say who or what he said.
Yeah.
But I had a certain trainer, and he almost called it.
Yeah.
Like he called it out. Right.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, imagine if this would have happened."
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So within the hour, I got to go home, rush home, and shower. Go to one team, see one team, get the opportunity to talk with them, right? And I feel a certain way, and go to the next team, and go to the next team after that, right? And so on and so forth. But one thing that I really tried to make sure to do was just to really be still, and listen, because one thing I can tend to do, and a lot of people like we do it, but I'm gonna speak for myself. I can tend to be impulsive with excitement, right? So I definitely learned. Right, to be still,
good,
to wait, to really make sure that like I'm discerning, like, all right, which opportunity can be the best opportunity, right? Because one story that came to my mind during that time is that like, Prophet Samuel, right.
So you better not bring up Job. This man loves talking about Job. I'm like,
there's a lot to learn from that guy, man. But nah, the Prophet Samuel, man. Before he anointed King David, he assumed that it was going to be his older brother first, right? And so God said, no, essentially, paraphrase, he said, no, that's not him. And then when it was time for David to be anointed, he said, arise. This is the king. Right?
Wow.
So I had to learn that, like, okay, let me wait for his arise. Right? Let me just be patient. Let me see, you know what I mean? And, God willing, I have faith that, like, things will work out. They're supposed to work out.
I love how you're talking about the application of scripture and how you're walking it out, man. With this, obviously, we talked about the obedience of falling in. Obviously, we want to bear fruit, by falling with the water, God. I love how you're speaking about that. But obviously, like I said, you're with the Houston Texans now, man. I want you to let all the people in Houston know what they're getting from the football player, Foley Fatukasi, and also as a person.
Well, man, from the football player, you're getting a hard-nosed guy, hard-working. There's nothing pretty or flashy about me, right? Headstrong, straightforward. And from the person, you're gonna find a very, chill, gentle guy, right? Loves to laugh, loves to have conversations, loves to connect with people, right? I think, listen, I can only be myself, and I'm hopeful that like those that get to know me will understand that, like, I'm a good fit.
He's a dog. You got tape out there. He's a dog. I'll just say that much. Lastly, what I want to wrap up with is, man, I don't know the guy, but CJ Stroud is a very boastful believer. And I love how he's, as a guy, as a focal point, as a quarterback, he's putting that out there into the world to show, like, man, I am first a believer in Jesus, and then I'm a quarterback. This is obviously a hope for me, but man, how can you two possibly connect in helping win souls to Christ in Houston?
Well, one, I think being your authentic self and how God calls you to be, right? So, letting your light shine and continue to do good deeds. So, and I believe that, I have faith that however God wants that relationship to happen, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I'm definitely proud of to see with CJ, especially in this day and age, is how he is out there on the forefront and how the media isn't cutting it out.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
One of them did. But I'm happy that it was shown that he is glorifying Christ.
It is. Now, I'm not gonna lie, being in that environment, just for the small time that I've been in there, I can see where the encouragement is coming from him to do it. Right, and I think that's important, man.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
For all of us, for example, like we're able to talk about our faith, right? To be able to be in that community that propels you to talk about these things, and that backs you.
Yeah,
I think that's very, very important. Man.
Yeah,
I can see where the battery comes from. You know what I'm saying?
The thing I love too, man. I just got through reading. I think it was Romans 12:4-8. It talks about how like we're one body with different members have different functions.
Yes.
And for you, hopefully CJ carries out his function. You carry out your function that best helps with the whole body, which is the church, man. I hope that so many people are attracted to Christ by how you guys walk it and profess it. So man, dog, I'm happy you were here, man. I got a little something for you. It's under the seat. If you can grab it, man. Size 14.
Yo, this man always do something. Yo, this
man. Yo.
That's crazy.
Size 14 Ofoos, man. They help with like recovery and stuff like that. So just some regular flip flops, man. Throw them joints on, maybe pre-practice, maybe before a game. Just help with recovery, man. I appreciate that, bro. I wanna give this to you, dog. And
shout out my dog GD.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, for those that don't know, man, and we talked about it, but this is big bro. Like this is big bro. Like he taught me a lot. Kept me in check. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely proud of you, man.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you.
To be able to do what you're doing, bro. And with all the stories that we've talked about, you know what I mean? That's for us.
Yeah, you know absolutely. Yeah.
But no, man, like what you're doing is great, bro. You're encouraging a lot of people.
Thank you.
Like you're still encouraging me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate you. Man. Thank you. Oh, you want to take us on the side? Hey, videographer Noah Slick. He's like, I don't want no fool. This man Slick try to order some tater tots, man. But guys, appreciate you watching. Follow my guy, Mr. Foley.
Mr. Fatukasi.
Mr. Fatukasi on IG, man. Follow his journey, support him. Please like and subscribe. Shout out to again my boy Noah Brediger, man. Shout out to Golf and Gospel. We'll see you on the next episode. Yeah. Ain't your food, man. Go ahead and slide.
Yo.